Hello and welcome to my n8n production course. I want to show you in this series how to really set up n8n for production. This tutorial is meant for real developers, so at least some years of experience is needed to follow along with this course. And the reason behind why I will make this course is that I had to do a bigger project for an enterprise situation, but I did not really find any full documentation about this, so I had to really dig into the docs and find some workarounds. And I wanted to share this to improve your situation and help others to really make this n8n process better for all. In this tutorial, we are gonna talk about how to set up Docker, how to include the Postgres and pgvector, for example, for the vector databases you need for chatbots, for the knowledge base. And also we are gonna talk about how to use Git to really store credentials securely, and also set up workflow versioning. And in the end, we are going to release this via Bitbucket pipelines to have automatic deployment, and also have a look at how to set up a firewall to protect all these paths that shouldn't be public. This will not be a course on how to set up any chatbot. It will mainly focus on infrastructure, and maybe I will do another video about how to set up a chatbot workflow in the future. And why this is really important is there is the option to version workflows in n8n, but I did only see the official version starting from 600 euros at my time. And I found a solution where you can just use the self-hosted version and version it with Git. So for my case, it was even better like that. And it also was less expensive. This is a basic overview on what we are going to build, like only parts of it. We are going to build a Docker Compose where we have an n8n container and also a Postgres with pgvector extension. We will also have a look on how to set up Bitbucket pipelines to have automatic deployment, and also set up some Cloudflare rules to really limit the paths that should be publicly accessible. This is the file structure we are going to make. It might be a bit different in the course, but this is somehow what we will end up with. Okay, now we see that we have this basic structure of the project set up. And the main points are here that we have Postgres and n8n connected, that we don't have to think about how we can store any vectors or how the application will run smoothly, so that this is all done. And I will only show you the main points to focus on here. And one of the main points is that for the image in n8n, we need to keep a fixed version. I just tell you that from experience, because I had the issue in the past that I used the stable version, but then production had some trouble because the stable version wasn't production ready. And that's the reason I suggest to not use a stable version, but rather update it manually each time. Then you see other things. For the Postgres container, one thing would be that I use pgvector Postgres 17. For some reason, this was the one that worked the best for me, but feel free to try others. And then there is this very important thing. Here in the environment, you can see I have a few different users here. To be precise, I have 3 different users. I have one super user, I have a n8n db user, and a n8n data db user. Let's switch to the presentation that we have a better view of this. And the reason that we have 2 different databases is that we need one database for the application n8n itself instead of the default, that would be SQLite. And here in the n8n data, there will be all of the data that is produced by workflows. Also, for example, the knowledge base from chatbots, they all will be inside of n8n data to really keep them separated because they do not really belong to each other. There has to be one super user that creates these other two databases. Let's look at the db-init script then. We have here one script. Be sure to set the executable bit that the script is executable by Docker. Inside of here, we see we just log in with our super user, and then we create our other users for the other database. And afterwards, we also set the extension for pgvector. These are like the main decision points I wanted to share here. Let's come back here. Everything looks fine. Health checks are set. But there's one thing that's quite important. You really need to set your webhook URL because this will be used for public webhooks. And especially if you are behind a firewall or something, then the n8n application won't know this path for itself. And also don't forget to set your n8n encryption key to encrypt all of your credentials. So let's see if everything is working. We're gonna start by starting the containers. Everything seems to be good. Now let's switch to the browser. So yes, here we see everything worked, everything is set up. You can write your email and your credentials inside of here and just log in. You have to be aware that you receive those security updates, but you do not need to check this each time if you create like a local user, but just be aware of it that there are bi-weekly security updates and you really want this information to act upon it. So now let's test it with a simple workflow if the Postgres is working. Let's open this and set up a credential. And here you see the host. So you need to get back to your Docker Compose and just use the container name as your host. The database will be n8n data, and the same goes for our user. And the password, whatever you set, let me have a quick look. And then it should be working. Exactly. So the connection was successful. Let's see if it also runs. And it works. This was the initial first course on how to set up n8n for a production environment. I really hope that this helped. And if you have any questions for the scripts, please let me know in the comments, because I try to rather focus only on the most important decision points instead of explaining Docker and everything from scratch. Let's see you in the next episode where we will have a look at the credentials and how to set them up securely without exposing them accidentally in your production environment. See you.